Hey, what up, family? So, for my first episode of Pillars of the Community, we'll be interviewing my mentor and good friend, Almeta Whitis, who's an amazing storyteller and wordsmith. I believe she has a wealth of knowledge to share with all of us, and I believe she's a powerful individual to learn by in her actions as well as her resilience, as being the creative that she is. So I hope you guys enjoy.
Welcome. Join me. Come in to the Poet's Garden in Rochester, New York's Highland Gardens. There's wonderful lines from famous poets in this place. My sons, Christopher and Jonathan, and I used to come here all the time and read the poetry lines and talk about the poets. My good friends, Don Scamitzi and Stanley Duke, were the ones that introduced us to this beautiful Poet's Garden. Come on in. This Shakespearean quote reminds me of many, many years ago, close to 50 years ago, when I was a principal dancer with Garth Fagan's original dance company. We were called Bottom of the Bucket Butt because Garth Fagan took untrained dancers and molded them in the Fagan technique to become consummate professionals. Well, that first year, I think the second year I was there, 1972, we were cast in a Shakespearean play by the Rochester Shakespeare's players. And we were the sprites in A Midsummer's Night Dream. And so this quote of Shakespeare here in the Poetry Garden kind of makes me think of that. It was a good time. Yolande Bhavan, the great Yolande Bhavan. She was from India. She was a well-known stage and screen actress, and she played Ariel. And she and I became pretty close friends. For some reason, she just loved to talk, and I listened. Not so much now. I do a lot of talking, so let's go. These flowers, they're like some sort of a bell-shaped and upside down. It reminds me of fairies and the beautiful, soft lilac color complements the lilac trees that are all over Highland Park. And to me, this little section feels like magic. It feels like there could be fairies here. Let's not disturb them. To live in hearts that love us is not to die. As long as your name is spoken, you will always be remembered. When I was younger, I spent a lot of times outdoors, just doing anything. And now in the twilight of my years, I don't get out that often. I'm very grateful for Spirit putting this idea in Wanye's head to interview me for this session, and for Spirit to say, take them over to the Poet Walk.
Speaking on your younger years, what is something that influenced your creativity and your art to what it is today?
That's hard to answer, because almost everything that comes into my consciousness fuels and infuses my work. It's like tea, and whatever the elements are that go into the water of my creative consciousness, everything sort of contributes to whatever comes out. Okay, as a child, I would love to go into the fields and lay down and look up the clouds and make up stories about the clouds. And the fields were actually the overgrown areas of Buffalo, New York, inner city Buffalo, New York, where I lived at the time. And when Daddy would take us to Crystal Beach or Niagara Falls, it would be a fun outing, and I would just soak in the ambiance. I didn't even know what the word ambiance meant. Now, as an adult and as an educated person, the ambiance of nature just fuels me. I don't get that much creativity from modern man-made structures. The architecture of the ancient periods up until like the 1900s. Those are the things that influence my spirit and inform what I write.
So Almeta, what is the legacy you hope to leave behind and pass down to the next generations?
The legacy that I want to leave is a legacy that cultural creatives in every culture that has ever existed wanted. And that's my personal opinion. And that is to use the power of story to heal internally, to calm our minds and make us open to all of the goodness and the wonder and the mirabilia of blessings that are all around us, in us, through us. And wanting to use the power of story to bring people together, to have us think about what we're doing to each other, to our other living families, the four-leggeds, the two-leggeds, the winged ones, the swimmers, the ones that crawl under the ground, to pay homage to Pachamama, Mother Earth, Gaia, and understand that we have to stop destroying her and find ways to, if we're going to use technology, to use it in ways that do not diminish the healing powers of nature. Earlier this summer, I read an article about how the old growth forests of Romania are being wiped out by IKEA to make wood for easily constructed furniture. Yes, that's a good idea, but why do you have to destroy old growth virgin forests? Not just in Romania, all over the world. I mean, it just makes me cry. What they're doing in the seas with plastic and the nets that snare the sea creatures, the seals and the whales, dolphins, the manatees. It's like we're killing each other. We're killing our sisters and brothers, our creatures. Our creatures, no, they're not human, but they have a right to live, and they have a right to have their habitat remain as pristine as possible. The coral reefs, they're dying all over the world. The algae blooms, they're in the sea. I mean, my goodness, people wake up before it's too late. And that's my legacy, is probably wanting people to just stop this mindless, conspicuous consumption and find ways that don't hurt the environment or hurt each other. And stories, just the basic stories, right and wrong, good and so-called bad, but what might be bad might be good, depending on how you look at it. It's a way of using like Aesop's fables, which are ways of teaching you to be critical thinkers and make informed decisions in your life. Treasure life, treasure the earth, and look to the stars as your guide. That's what all the ancestors, the first peoples all over the world, they looked to the heavens, not because of a god, but they were looking at the stars for guidance. And maybe we ought to start doing that more. Join hands in the Spirit for one holy name. You are love and we are children, one and the same. All glory to the Spirit, all praise to your name, for your love unites us in peace once again, in peace once again, in peace once again. I leave to you, the new generation, hopefully sense enough to stop this carnage that's destroying everything. May you look back and find the wisdom of the ancestors and embrace it and change the way things are being done so that people once again revere, honor, and cherish all life, everywhere. I start my morning with an Aboriginal prayer. For many, many decades, I read Marlo Morgan's Mutant Message Down Under back in the 70s, 80s. And this Aboriginal morning prayer or salutation or affirmation. Good morning, Divine Oneness. We stand here inside you, one of your special groups of beings. We thank you for this day. We thank you for me. We dedicate our day to the honor and purpose of oneness. May all we need today be provided for. May everything we do today, say today, hear today be only in the highest good for all concerned, and in the highest good for all of life, everywhere throughout the universe. That's the energy of the Australian Aborigines, the New Zealand Maori, the Dogon of Mali and West Africa, the ancient Kemetans, and the people of Meroe, the indigenous peoples of Turtle Island, the Caribbean, the Aztecs and the Incas and the Toltecs, the Polynesians, the Hawaiian and the Pacific Islanders. They're the early peoples of Europe. There's the Russians, the steppes, the people of the steppes of Asia and Russia. There's the Ainu of Japan. They're the many different peoples of China. There's the Southeast Asians. There's India. There's just so much, and we live in such a rich and beautiful world. And I would want all of the young people in the coming generations, plural, to be able to honor, respect, and learn from one another how to live in peace once again. Ashe.
Hey, thank you everyone for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to spread love, and be loved. One love.